Hello everyone, it's Paul. I wanted to say first and foremost thank you for tuning into this YouTube channel. This is extremely new for me. I'm a little bit nervous, apprehensive, any of the synonyms you could think of, for kind of downright scared. The reason I'm doing this video today is to pretty much do a test run of how I can edit audio together with video, shooting locations, and basically bring everything together and get used to giving either weekly updates or every other week updates about the projects I'm working on. And just I'm looking for support. I'm looking for a community to kind of build from the ground up as far as something local here in central Minnesota. I'm coming to you from my family room in my house in central Minnesota. I have lots of books behind me. These are not all my books, however, they are a good sampling of what I like to read and discover. Anyway, some of you have come to me and asked me how my book is coming, the one that I'm writing. And I felt like I kind of owed it to some people to give some updates a little more proactively in more of like a space that people get updates with YouTube, social media, that sort of thing. And coming up with this idea, like I mentioned, is a little bit scary, but it's also exciting. My day job is a registered nurse in a mental health clinic. I would like to explore more creative outlets like my writing and voiceover work that I'm trying to get into, the visual arts, all kinds of different things. I think it's a good outlet, and I do encourage people to explore that outlet for themselves as well. So I'm going to give you some information, kind of like what I'm doing, and in subsequent videos and updates, either on X or Threads or Facebook or whatever, I'm going to just kind of like pick a topic and talk about what is going on, either anything really. I'm just kind of have not too rigid of a schedule. I'm going to just post when I can, and because life is busy and I don't always have a free space and free time to not have a whole lot of noise in the background with a family and a dog and all kinds of other things to maintain. So honestly, I think the best way to understand the future is looking at the past. Like I mentioned, my name is Paul. My last name is Allen. I'm going to go with a pen name with all three of my names, Paul, Charles, Allen, because there are other people with my name. And I have either patients, coworkers, acquaintances that I meet for the first time ask me if I'm the voice of the Minnesota Vikings. I am not. They asked me if I helped co-found Microsoft with Bill Gates in his garage in Kent, Washington. I am not. They asked if I am a character in a movie called American Psycho. I am definitely not. So that's why I feel like using my middle name is probably a good idea. And some authors use middle names, and I am going to have to just be fine with that. So going forward, I'll just explain the book that I am pretty much working on, and I've actually been working on this, I believe, officially since 2022, when I decided that this was finally the right time to tell this particular story. I did kind of write a little bit of a descriptor. I have actually shared the back cover blurb with this book with a few people. If you want a copy of that back cover blurb that I came up with a couple of years ago, I can definitely send that to you. Just comment below or send me a DM or however you want to contact me. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so I believe the best way to understand the future is to also look at its past. I am writing a science fiction fantasy book that collides futuristic worlds with also forgotten traditions of our history. It's kind of like almost like a chivalrous society built in the future. It's basically held on the moon about 1,000-ish years ahead of time. The jury is still out on the exact timeline. As I move forward, I don't want to assume that 1,000 years is a good round number. I'm just picking something very far off, beyond multiple generations of our lives. So think of this: whether it's exploring the return of medieval chivalry to a high-tech lunar colony, or digging into the gritty realities of building a brand new society from scratch, I am obsessed of the what ifs of humanity's future. So as a lot of people know, I am influenced by Star Wars. I grew up as a little kid watching Star Wars at our local library. My mom probably saw it 50 times with me. And I also grew up reading Tolkien, so that blend of sci-fi and fantasy still play a big role in my writing. And I've been getting into the Dune series now. I'm only in the second book, but there's a new movie coming out at the end of this year, I think around Christmas or right before New Year's. Dune Part 3, and I'm interested to see where that story goes. I'm very influenced with some modern authors right now. Brandon Sanderson is big in my library. I read only the first book of the Stormlight Archive. I have read the original Mistborn trilogy, and these are fantastic stories. I do highly recommend them. So I do have a lot of influences. I have watched Sanderson's BYU lectures of fantasy writing, and I watched them each a couple times just to, well, it's a college course that he puts out for free every 5 years, so I am gleaning a lot from that as well. At some point I will kind of show you my writing spaces. I'm going to say I have an office in my bedroom that I use, and I have the space that I'm recording now in my family room on a table with my laptop and all my gear. And the table is actually built by my grandfather, and yeah, it's like a card table. I'll show it to you sometime, give you a little idea. So why am I starting this YouTube channel? Again, because even though writing this book is pretty much solitary, telling the story doesn't have to be. I created the space to pull back kind of like the curtain on the writing life and share the journey with you. I wanted to be an author, a published author, since I was young. I always thought the idea of seeing my name on a printed work that people can buy and have me sign and talk about, like at Comic Cons or fantasy cons or some of these nerdy conventions, would be like a dream come true. I kind of gave up on the idea of playing baseball professionally, back in high school. So I thought, well, once I'm able to, I'm going to start writing. And yeah, the process is extremely fun. It is an art. It is something that I'm going to say right now, AI has no place in. I'm just putting that out there right now. Artificial intelligence is useful as a tool for an end product to a certain degree. If you wanted to write an email, that's maybe something that you can do. If you wanted to write, like in my world, care plans, that's perfectly acceptable. But in the creative writing process, I consider that a hard no, a hard stop. I've heard a few authors nowadays come out against AI because the reason is it's not the end product, it's the work that is put into the end product. Yes, you can have an AI machine spit out a story with some prompts, whatever, that's fine, it's entertainment. However, there's no soul in it. There's no one singular artistic presence in that. When you read someone's stories like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings from Tolkien, you're going to find that you can hear his voice in his writing, and you can take a glimpse from his life. For example, he wrote Lord of the Rings, and a lot of scenes and a lot of situations in that story reflected on his time as a World War I soldier for Britain. And it's something that played a part in his life, bringing it out onto a page in story form. So that's my little thing right there. I'm against AI for creative writing or pretty much anything. Maybe on the YouTube channel if it wants to help me create avatars, because I really suck at drawing and that sort of thing. Maybe, but I'm going to try to do most everything on my own. Like some of this part of the script is AI written, but this, what I'm doing right now, no, this comes from the heart. It's writing itself is a struggle, and I'm not going to lie about that right now. Sometimes people, as you know, get to a point where they want to do something. The will is there, and I hate the word motivation, but motivation is not there sometimes. Real life does get in the way, and your mood, your mental health at the time, what you had for dinner can all play a part in the creative process. Sometimes you just don't have it in you to get to this certain point. But building up a routine and building up motivation, there's that word, to see the end goal, to see what is potentially possible, is exciting. And yeah, it's something that I want to dive more into. I love creating the aspects of a world and the what if. I like taking things that, say, let's say, look at our modern time and place as a species. Where are we going to be in the future? If we keep going on this path, are we going to be in a certain way in the future? I like thinking about that, the paths that we all take as a society. Are we going to repeat history? Are we going to learn from our mistakes? Are we going to advance and progress, or are we going to revert? So all these things are something that I really like to do. Plus, yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun outlet for me. Plus, well, what I can do is kind of give you the idea of what my story is about. The title of the story right now, that is title of the series, is still a working title. It's called The Lunar Dominion. Lunar meaning moon, of course, and dominion meaning empire, kingdom, realm, that sort of thing. At first, I wanted to create the series and the state itself, the kingdom on the moon, with like a Romanesque type feel, and I was trying to come up with all types of Roman or Latin titles for it, but just none of them stuck. They all sounded kind of like, you know, they wouldn't look good on a movie poster, let's say, and they really wouldn't look good. So I'm just sticking with pretty much anglicized type titles. What I do like about the moon is that the world is already there. I can just study the moon and its features. The features between the craters, the mountains, the valleys, all these different things are already named. They're already named, like the Sea of Tranquility, the Sea of Tears. There's all types of different aspects of the moon. So the setting is there, so I could put my own interpretation on that setting. How is it going to look in hundreds of years worth of time? What does the colony look like? How do people breathe? Are there domes like you see in some of the old sci-fis from the 40s, 50s, and 60s? Are there going to be new and advanced space suits? How are we going to overcome the less gravity? How do you fight on the moon? How do you travel? How do you interact? You know, how big are the cities? Are they the size of New York? Are they the size of Minneapolis? Are they the size of Independence, Missouri? You know, are they smaller? Or are they like a small town out of the middle of nowhere? There's all these possibilities. And all these possibilities make for excitement and make for a more of a page turner. So also, like, the characters that I'm developing are going to be human, as human as I possibly can make them. There's no real aliens. There's going to be artificial intelligence, but it's not going to be like an alien book or anything like that. So there's going to be men and women and aristocrats and peasantry or proletariat. There's going to be the haves, the have-nots, kind of like what we have in our society. There's going to be strong-willed people, weak-willed people, dynamic people, maybe more flat and not very exciting people. The leads that I'm going to have are going to be a strong female lead, because I grew up, of course, with Star Wars, so I really admired Princess Leia and the type of leader that she became in her faction. So this person's going to be modeled like more on Princess Leia / Katniss from the Hunger Games, maybe a little bit of strong female leads. I'm sorry, they're just eluding me right now. Even some of the other modern movies and heroes. So good, strong female, and then she's going to have a best friend who happens to be male, like a childhood friend, and he's going to be very decisive, very objective. He's not really going to be thinking with feelings very much. More cold, but still strong. And then on the other side, so the government side, who is in charge right now, is there's going to be a monarch, more than likely a queen. It's not going to be like an evil type tyrant or autocrat, authoritarian type person. It's going to be a very, like, somebody who thinks that they're doing good, but they're not exactly making the best decisions, and they're kind of weak, and then they kind of feel like, oh my gosh, maybe I have made a whole lot of mistakes in life. And she's going to have very nefarious people behind her, behind the scenes, like in her court, her cabinet, whatever you call. And it's the character development for me right now is the toughest, because you have to develop different personalities, different ways, different looks, everything about them, and it's only coming from one mind right now. So I'm still developing names for these characters. I came up with a couple names for the female lead. Number one, I thought Kira, but then I thought, no, I don't like that. Then I came up with Lyra, as in like another word for song, but I'm not sure I like that either. So I'm just trying to work on that. The other male lead character, I thought of Artemis, and this was like way before the whole Artemis project, but that's actually a female name, so I'm trying to come up with something that sounds a little more cosmic and like more cold. So, and hey, looking for suggestions too. So basically the premise of the story is going to be two factions. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. There's going to be two factions, and I came up with the the more rebel side of things that the main character is going to be a part of is going to be called like the Lunar Forge, as in like forging and workers and making things. And then the other side, of course, is going to be the Dominion, or the Lunar Dominion. I think it actually just sounds antagonistic to me. So I mean, it's going to be a definite, work in process. So anyway, so that's where I am. I've actually written a few chapters, but the writing is kind of stalled. I'm going to be honest. The writing has stalled to a point where I'm kind of regrouping, rethinking, and going back to world building. And that's okay. It's part of the process. So anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is kind of wrap this up. This is just like a trial run video. If you want to share it, that's fine. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's fine. I don't have really any aspirations to grow the channel too much, other than just give updates to people I know and people that are interested. As the book progresses, what I'm going to do is talk about certain subjects, specific subjects like characters, world building, setting, maybe, and there is going to be some kind of magic system, so stay tuned for that. So here's something I came up with. This is not the back cover blurb, but in this universe, humanity has cultivated a permanent settlement on the moon that is breathtakingly advanced, but politically and socially, it is a renaissance of old Europe. Because of the massive, devastating weapons of the past have been essentially outlawed, warfare and conflict have become deeply personal again. We're talking about a return to chivalry, honor, and faith in divine providence. Okay, the back cover. The Lunar Dominion. Earth has been forgotten. Only the Lunar Dominion matters now. Two polarized factions have begun to emerge. One holding on to traditions of old, returning to chivalry, honor, and faith in divine providence. The other, seeking to upend centuries-old ways, is growing in strength and even among the most conservative of the populace. Humanity has created and cultivated a lasting and permanent settlement so advanced that the former home of Earth is barely remembered, where weapons of mass destruction were all but eliminated in Earth's last great war, where the traditions of old Europe once again take center stage, and seeds of a republican revolution ferment and rise to challenge the old ways, where a mysterious object deep beneath the surface is ready to be discovered and claimed for only those worthy of possessing. The first book, working title, is going to be called A Waste of Suns, Book 1 in the Lunar Dominion series by Paul Charles Allen. So, with that, I thank you for watching, listening, giving me feedback. Share this video if you know of anyone who is interested in following a guy, middle-aged guy, who is kind of on the journey of writing. And I almost forgot. The t-shirt for this video is chemistry.